even if it was like MJ in place of LeBron in this final series against the Warriors, no one would be expecting him to win.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. Before we talk about the topic and the title, I just want to get this off my chest. It is ridiculous that this man LeBron dropped 49 points in regulation, took over late in the fourth, and was on the verge of completing one of the greatest performances in NBA history, just to lose because of terrible officiating, 80% from the line George Hill missing a free throw, and J.R. Smith, goddamn J.R. Smith, got the offensive rebound, clearly had enough space to put it back up, but didn't. Had LeBron for a wide open three at the top of the key, but didn't pass it. Dribbled the ball out because he supposedly thought that they were gonna call a timeout when he could have called it himself. Then in the video, he clearly says, "I thought we had the lead," and has the audacity to deny it after the game. I know what LeBron did in OT, only had 2 points, 0 for 4 from the field. But if regulation ends like that after you put out your heart on the court, I would be so demoralized going into OT. Anyways, with the finals going on, you know all the media outlets have been talking about LeBron's previous finals and his legacy. And a popular opinion I've been hearing a lot lately is that LeBron is so great that the only reason the guy gets finals MVP is because they were just guarding him. To be completely honest with you, this is one of, if not the laziest narratives that I have ever seen or heard because of how ignorant it is. It's takes like this that make people like me and others sound like we hate LeBron just because we want to call out ridiculous takes by people with so much influence. And the basis of the argument falls on the fact that LeBron in his last 4 finals losses may be the only player in modern era, alongside with Kobe in 2008 and Shaq in 2004, who were clearly the best player on the court, although KD did have something to say about that last year and was not underperforming, yet did not win the finals MVP. And they used the argument that Kawhi Leonard and Andre Iguodala only got their finals MVPs because they were just guarding LeBron when LeBron was putting up monster numbers like 28 points on 57% shooting from the field, 52% from 3, 8 rebounds and 4 assists in 2014, and then 36 points, 13 rebounds and 9 assists in 2015. But what pushed my buttons was when people started using this argument for Kevin Durant in 2017. Now I'll explain in a minute, but can we just first define what the Finals MVP is? The Finals MVP is an award that is given out to the best performer on the winning team in the NBA Finals for that series. The only anomaly in this criteria was Jerry West, who won Finals MVP the first year it was given out. However, this consistent criteria that has been established through the next 50 or so years has not been established yet. Now let's take a trip down memory lane, shall we, and go to the 2007 NBA Finals. LeBron James and the Cleveland Cavaliers versus the San Antonio Spurs as the clear underdog. Bruce Bowen was his primary defender, and he was held to 22 points on abysmal 36% shooting from the field, 22% from 3, and 69% from the line in the sweep. Yet Tony Parker, a point guard who was definitely not guarding LeBron, averaged 25 points on 57% shooting and got the Finals MVP. Why? Because he was the best performer on the winning team. Then let's go to 2011, where LeBron, if he won, wasn't going to get Finals MVP anyways, but nevertheless he was held to 18 points per game, being guarded by Shawn Marion and Deshaun Stevenson. Yet Dirk Nowitzki, a power forward who was guarding Chris Bosh, got Finals MVP because he put up 26 points and 10 rebounds. Why? Because he was the best performer on the winning team. Let's fast forward to 2014. 3 years later, after 2011, after LeBron goes back-to-back in the finals, winning both of them. LeBron put up terrific numbers, like I said earlier, and was indeed guarded by Kawhi Leonard. However, many fail to realize that 1, many of those points came when either A, Kawhi wasn't guarding him, and B, in garbage time when the Spurs already blew out the Heat. But nonetheless, let's remind ourselves of the criteria of the award. It goes to the player on the winning team who performed the best. Kawhi Leonard's team won. Kawhi Leonard upped his average from the previous 3 rounds by nearly 5 points a game, became the Spurs' go-to scorer while being guarded by an all-NBA defensive second-team defender LeBron James, and put up 18 points on a ridiculous 62% from the field, 58% from 3, on top of 6 rebounds, 1.6 steals, and a block a game, while being LeBron's primary defender. Nah, but he only got it because he was guarding LeBron, right? The 2015 finals, however, is probably the best example for people who believe this argument. I'm gonna be honest, for one, I think it should have gone to Stephen Curry, because in any other year, 26 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, and 2 steals on pretty good shooting splits should get you the finals MVP. However, I do see the point with Andre Iguodala. Down 2-1 on the road in Cleveland, Steve Kerr decides to put Iggy in the starting lineup, and he puts up 22 points on 53% from the field, hit 4 threes, had 8 rebounds, and held LeBron to 20 points on 32% from the field to tie the series up 2-2 going back to Golden State. Then they'd go home for game 5. Steph goes off for 37 points, 7 rebounds, and 4 assists on insane shooting splits, but there was also Iggy on the side, being their second best player with a cool 14 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists, and 3 steals. And then in the closeout game, he'd have 25 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists on the road on pretty good shooting splits, and they would go on to win the championship. Again, I would say this is the best example because Iggy defending LeBron in Game 4 was a pretty big part of why he got the MVP. However, Iggy starting for the Warriors clearly changed the tide of the series in Golden State's favor, not just defensively, but offensively as well. And what he did in Game 4 isn't just so he did get MVP because he was guarding LeBron. It wasn't just that he was guarding him. He locked him down to 20 points on 32% shooting in the pivotal game in the series on the road, on top of 22 points and 8 rebounds. And that is just something you can't look over, especially because of the fact that LeBron James in the first 3 games was putting up at least 39 points in each game. So once again, his team won, and arguably he had the best performance on his team. And then last year, I don't need a long ass explanation. Kevin Durant put up 35 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, a steal, and 1.6 blocks on 56% shooting from the field, 47% from 3, and 93% from the line. To say that he got Finals MVP just because he was guarding LeBron is the most ignorant thing I have ever heard. Once again, he was on the winning team, and the best performer on that team for that series was Kevin Durant. But even if we look at the finals that he did win, let's just say he lost 2012, 2013, and 2016. KD was putting up 31 points on ridiculous shooting splits. Tim Duncan, a center, would have got it in 2013, and Draymond would have got it in 2016. All 3 of those players would have gotten it not because they were guarding LeBron, but because they had the best performance on the respective teams. Look, I get many of y'all just want to use any argument you can find to put LeBron at the highest pedestal because he is a player deserving to be in that conversation, but come on, man. At least use good ones.